Hi, and welcome to The Complaining Cow Consumer Show on East London Radio with me, Helen, the Complaining Cow. And today I have Carly Burd with me, who helps feed thousands of people across Harlow and has quite a story to tell. So, Carly, welcome and thank you for joining me.
Hi, I'm so happy I'm on here.
Well, I can't wait to get stuck in and for people to hear a whole story. Tell me, what is it that you do?
Well, basically, last year I went without heating. So this year it would have meant I went without food. And that obviously can't happen. And I'm in a position that I can't change because I have multiple sclerosis and lupus. So I had no option. There's no extra money. There's no, okay, I'll use my savings. When you're on this level of money, every single penny counts. And I panicked, and I didn't just panic for me, I panicked for everyone in my actual area and my criteria. I just knew that it would hit people hard. So I don't know what come over me. I have really no idea. I call it the Noah's Ark phase. You just all of a sudden, I just woke up and I just wanted to feed everyone. So I got my kids together. I said, come on, let's rip the garden up. So we started and we made plots all the way over the garden and we planted as much as we could to try and also cover different ethnic groups as well, because we didn't want to single anyone out. So trying to grow new plants, okra, like, oh, don't use that, but it was fun to do, you know. And we grew so much and it was brilliant. We made them into parcels and I started building a list of people that needed help. And it started to grow bigger and bigger, like I thought it would. So I just kept delivering. And then I thought, right, hang on, the end of the season's coming. I can't turn around to people and say, I'm sorry, I've got nothing now. I need to do something. So I started contacting shops and everything. And I asked for help. I had someone that got me emergency supply boxes that I could put out. I asked for donations. I ask people to do a cupboard rummage and anything you don't use pass my way. Shops throw so much food, and why throw it when people are hungry and there's not enough money? It's ridiculous. It makes no sense, and it makes me so angry because I go around like some of my customers, one of my ladies, she's waiting for a double lung transplant. She can't go to the food bank because if she picks up a bug, how's she going to fight that? It can't happen. So she's left. She's got nothing. So how's she supposed to feed herself? I've been in a wheelchair for 2 years with my MS, so I know what it's like when you can't get out and do what you need to do. I just thought, right, that's it. Let's do as much as we can and make these parcels. Well, the parcels grew and grew. I have a money donation box at Harlow train station. So as the people are going to London, we try and nick all their cash off. I put it in the box after they've grabbed a coffee. But that money then I'd pick up and I go to take to a supermarket. I transfer it into food. I bring it home. I pack it in bags and off it goes. And just on food parcels, I've fed 1,800. I think I'm up to 49 at the moment. I've got another 9 to 10 families to feed tomorrow. But in each family, you can imagine there's between 1 and 9 people in a household. So if I'm going shopping for a family and they've got 9 people, can you imagine how much shopping I actually have to get for like 9 families?
A lot.
Yeah. But then I thought, hang on a minute, we need to sort this situation of landfill. Why are we throwing food away? It's disgusting. And so I begged and begged and begged all different shops. I've got a shop across my road, Nissa Local. I've got to say them, they're fantastic. I asked for any kind of leftover items, you know, give me a day at least, just so that I've got one day on an item so I can get it out to someone. I don't care if it's 10 o'clock at night. I've got till midnight to get that food to someone. And so I do that. And as soon as I've got the food, I put a table outside my front and I fill it with all the food I've collected from landfill and offer it out for free. And within an hour, the whole lot's gone.
And then something sort of pretty horrible happened this year, didn't it?
Well, yeah, because I really wanted an allotment, but I couldn't get one. And they're about an 8-year waiting list, if not longer. So one of the councillors, Nicola Pearce, approached me and said that maybe I'll be able to get an allotment if I set it up as a pilot scheme. So I thought, okay, let's look into that. So basically, It's a massive set of allotments and it hasn't been touched in 8 years. So it was 8 foot high with brambles front to back. And there's just me, who's never done anything like this in her life. You know, never grown a carrot before I've done any of this, said, all right, I'll take it on. And what I've decided to do, I worked so hard, I really did. And then I started to get volunteers, and they're amazing. They put their time in. If you've got an hour free, come and join us. And it's to build that sense of community back up that we lost through COVID mostly. And then what I'm going to do with the allotments is I'm going to give out 50% of them, the people that have been on the waiting list for over 8 years waiting for one. And then the other half, I get to grow as much food as I can on it and do what I want. So then I'd cleared it all. I'd worked so hard. The kids had dug and dug. That's what was so soul destroying. I had a lad down, Zach. Hi, Zach, if you're listening. Bless him. He's autistic. And it was brilliant for him because he could work with us, but away from us slightly, so it wasn't too overpowering. That way, I'm trying to bring everyone in, you know, people that have got anxiety, depression, and it just spend a little bit of time with me and we'll work together. And then I can build that up to make a platform. And we started planting the potatoes and onions. And I thought, brilliant, we're at that stage now. I was so excited. I planted the potatoes with Plan B Management Solutions. They came down for a day and we dug and dug and got them all in. But then the children came down 2 days later, and I spent 2.5 hours with them. One's 5 and one's 7. So Rory, hiya, and oh my goodness, I forgot your sister's name, but I love her loads, MS at the moment. But they came down and I had a 5-year-old for an hour and a half solid planting onions. So I'm explaining to him and he's asking me, what's this going to do? What is my time? You know, what am I actually doing? And I explained to him and said to him, you know, what you're planting is going to go to a family and they can make that into food. And he was so proud. And he's only 5. And he spent that whole time, you know, really putting it into it to give back to someone. So when I came down 2 days later and I walked in, I was absolutely soul destroyed. I can't even put words to it. I just literally felt like someone had just kicked me in the face.
The people who haven't sort of heard the story, what was it that you faced?
I walked in, and as I got nearer to the actual place where we were planting, I could taste salt straight away. I could taste it in the air. And I looked over, and at first I thought, I'm trying to work things out, like what's going on, because I could see this white stuff, but I'm at a distance. So first of all, I thought it was maybe a fox had attacked something. And then I'm trying to work it out in my head as I'm getting closer. And as soon as I've seen its granules, obviously with me tasting it, I've just went, that's salt, and I've just collapsed. I was just like, why would anyone do that?
Bizarre, isn't it?
Like even now, like it brings me to tears. It's only because the kids, and you know, they spent so much time, and I think of Zach with his issues, bless him, and you know, for him to spend the time doing it, it was just soul destroying. And then they're 300 onions that would have fed 300 families in a parcel, and all the potatoes that would have gone too, and the whole lot just ruined. I can't then trust it. I can't then say they might grow, they might not. So I know some vegetables grow in salt, but I'm not 100%. I don't know what's going on. And what if I want to replant there? Because you can't plant potatoes season after season. You've got to move your space. So then what can I use that for? I was just gutted, absolutely gutted. And I got everyone to run around. I said, don't touch anything. Look for a bag. Look for everything. And I found a footprint on my front barrier where they jumped over. But later on, the police said it was actually a handprint. But, it was awful. Absolutely.
Were the police able to find out anything?
They contacted me yesterday and they said, you know, I understood, you know, that they're not going to get anyone unless someone had a video doorbell, something like that, which they checked, and I'd already checked. But it's, oh God, it's disgusting, literally. Me and Rory were laughing because we were talking about the worms. And we were saying, look how fat they are. They're like snakes. And we was having a right chuckle. And he was picking them up and stuff. And they're not there anymore. The whole lot got shriveled up and destroyed. And
Of course,
it literally broke me. Really did break me. And then all of a sudden, I thought to myself, do I post this? Because I post everything about what we've been doing from the start, from the very first putting the vegetables in my garden, all the way through the volunteers helping out, and look how far we've gone, the first potato going in the ground, and I thought, I've got to post it because everybody that's come down needs to see how, or someone needs to see, I don't know, to see how soul destroying it is and how someone could do that. And I get bad comments. Of course I get bad comments. It goes over my head, to be honest with you. I haven't got time for it. But I thought to myself, I don't care if I get bad comments for writing on there. I need to show people because it's awful. I thought to myself, do you know what? I've just got to post it because it's part of everything we've been doing. And I was absolutely gutted. And I thought, do you know what, bad comments or not, suck it up and put it on with the rest of your stuff. So I put it up. And to be honest with you, I was at the point I just wanted to give up. I just didn't want to do it. I felt like someone hated me so much to do something like that. And then you think, what have I done to someone? I only try to help people. And I think, why would someone do that? Not just to me, but to everyone that needs it. And I don't think it's anyone in my community because I feed most of them.
Yeah,
So,
it is absolutely incredible, honestly, isn't it? I mean, I would have thought they could have caught somebody. I would have thought somebody would have dobbed somebody in, or they would have been able to find out somebody who bought that amount of salt in one go. That's
why I don't think it's a person. It's something that I don't know about. I don't know. Trust me, I'm still going around it, and I will find out. One day I will find out. That is my aim. I literally won't stop until I find out. But I don't think it's a person. I don't think it's anyone in my community. I think it's more than that. And it is just disgusting. I mean, if it's because of money or I've destroyed anyone's idea that they wanted to do, because these allotments hadn't been touched in 8 years. So if it had gone on longer, they could have taken it to court and argued it and said, right, we can use it for this, we can use it for that. But because I've taken it over as a pilot scheme and I put hours and hours and hours, months in work into this, it was like, you've stuffed us up, so I'll stuff you. That's literally what it felt like.
And that TikTok video that you did showing people what had happened, what happened with that and how many views did it get and from that?
It was such a weird experience because I was so broken, and I posted it and I went to bed and I woke up the next morning and I went down the allotment thinking, what am I going to do? And I put my music on and all I could hear my phone interrupting. And it was annoying me because I wanted to listen to my music. So I carried on, and then I went home and my son walked down the stairs. My eldest son, he's 22. He walked down the stairs and said, Mum, have you hit every platform? Well, I'm an outside girl. I don't deal with what I do now because I've had to learn, but I don't deal with Zoom meetings and all of this and all of it. I didn't understand any of it. And I said, what do you mean? And he went, look, and looked on there. And I was like, oh my God, it was such a weird experience because I was so broken. But at the same time, I felt like everyone was holding me up. And I was at the point where I didn't want to do it anymore because obviously what had happened. But with the support of everyone behind me actually turned me around and made me keep fighting. And I thought, no, the comments that were coming in were unbelievable. They meant the most to me. It was all the wording, the fact that someone sat there and actually put their time in to write things. That's what meant the most to me. I was overwhelmed, absolutely over. I just didn't know what was going on. I mean, I'm on low income. So when you get money like that coming along, when I look at it, it looks like 250 quid. I can't get my head around the amount that's actually in there. It's like, it's nothing that I deal with. So it's been a big pressure to make sure that I've got it in the right place. It's away from me. It's going into a CIC. I'm trying to wait for my driving license so I can get everything set up, because I'm on like a 3-year thing because I've got MS, so they have to check I'm okay to drive. So as soon as that comes back, I can set that up, get the money all in there, and it's done. I can take a big sigh of relief.
How many views did the TikTok get in the end?
5 million.
Wow.
5 million. I had messages from all over, countries: Germany, France, New Zealand, Australia, America, just everywhere. And it was just
Incredible.
No other words for it. It's just absolute. Imagine if it was you.
I don't know. It's just mad, isn't it? It obviously then went viral and it got picked up in the media, didn't it? Where was your first sort of media appearance?
As soon as it went on TikTok that night, in the morning, I woke up and obviously went down there and come back home. All of a sudden, my phone just went loopy. Literally, every one of my TikTok, my Facebook was absolutely crammed. My messages, my LinkedIn, that was all crammed. And then my phone would not stop ringing for 2 days. So I thought, I just answered it. And then everyone was talking to me and I was just telling them what happened. They're asking me, I'm just explaining. And I didn't realise how actually many I'd done in 2 days.
Where had you done?
Oh my goodness, radio stations, podcasts, live, Sky News, Good Morning Britain, the One Show, I think, but I have to double check on that.
You did do the One Show.
Yeah, newspapers, just endless. But, they're asking me, I'm just telling, because it was appalling. And, it's just awful. There's no other words. It's just diabolical.
And then from that, well, how did the fundraising come from that?
It just started going up.
Did you set up the page or did somebody else do it?
I set it up back in September last year.
Oh, right.
When I was doing my garden, obviously I've got no money. So I needed things like seeds and things like that. And I needed the netting to cover it all so that it wouldn't get eaten. I needed soil and stuff. So I did a little GoFundMe for that, which everyone put into. I was so grateful. And we managed to feed more people with that money as well. And then that was it. It was left. So someone picked up on it on one of and that was it. It just went. So it's actually been running since September last year. And then, it's for it to go up and up and up and up and up. And we all kept looking at it going, I was pacing around my room. I was holding my head and I was going, oh my God, what am I going to do?
Well, that's the next thing, isn't it? Because, you had some famous people put money in as well, didn't you?
Yeah, Gary Lineker, bless him, he put into it. I'm so grateful. Stephen Bartlett, I read that he woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and decided he had to help. And I am so grateful, because this isn't for me. And this is why I can do all these interviews and everything, because I can take myself out the equation. It's not for me. It's for my community and everyone in my community that needs it.
So when all this money started coming in and you thought, I need to do something with this, what did you do? Where did you start?
It was mind exploding. And I was panicking. I had anxiety. I was like, oh my God. Then someone messaged me, you better watch your house now. And I was like, oh my goodness sake, I was freaking out. So I had to go through all my stuff, make sure my address was off everything, change all my stuff around. So it was a bit of a panic, but it's just the most weird experience ever. It was just unbelievable, like you're in a dream, literally, and it's just one of those dreams that you want, but at the same time it's so overwhelming. And I thought, right, now I need to get my act together, but I thought, no, Carly, take a deep breath and think about this. You want this going in the right place. Take a massive deep breath and just wait. Let the madness happen. Do the interviews, do everything you need to do, and just wait. And then once I can have a bit of time out away from it and got my head around everything, I thought, right, now I can come up with a plan. So I decided, that's it. We're going to do the allotments. We're going to get them up. I'm going to need taller fencing at the front. I need gates at the front. I don't want to pound loads of money into the allotment because it's a community thing and people in my community come down to actually do it. So if I get a company in to do all the work, well, you've taken away what I'm trying to accomplish, which is get people out their house.
Yeah.
I need the people to be able to be involved with it so that they can come in and help do all the work. I have adults with learning disabilities that come down and help me, and they're fantastic. You know, they love doing the digging. It gets them out for the day. And I've got people that haven't got much mobility, but just want to get out and come and have a chat. So I've decided that the top end, where it all got sorted, I'm going to make into a cafeteria kind of area with a seating area next to it so that people that are walking past, and I do get a lot, can come in for a cup of tea and chat. You know, get the elders out the house, get them being involved by teaching the young children all the information they need to grow. That vital information we're going to lose soon if it's not passed on. And if you ask children now, how do you grow carrots? How do you, some of them don't even know where vegetable comes from. They think it comes from Tesco's, you know, and that's diabolical. We were shut down in COVID so much, and those children suffered beyond belief. I've got 3 of my own.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 of them suffer anxiety problems because we were locked in so much. I'm obviously on high risk, so we had to be extra locked down, and it affected them. And I noticed by doing this with my boys, getting them out digging, come and do this for someone else, it brought them out. And I then thought to myself, right, we can make a bigger change here. I can incorporate schools into this. I can ask schools if they've got pieces of the land where I can go along and we can teach the children how to grow, how to use their emotions by digging into the ground and, you know, taking your anger out and all these weeds and everything you've got to work blinking hard for to get out, and then grow beautiful vegetables as a result for somebody else. And it gives you such an uplifting feeling because it puts your own situation in perspective. I mean, my own situation is bad. Yeah, obviously it's bad. I'm a single mum, MS and lupus, and I've had it since I was 16 and I'm 43 now. So I have lots of issues with it. But even then, me handing it over to somebody else who I've had ladies cry at the front door because I've handed over food. You know, it's been hard. And for me to be able to do that and watch a smile on someone else's face, oh my God, it makes you feel so much better. It's such an uplifting feeling. And it makes you want to accomplish more. It gives you more drive. You think, right, what other ideas can we do here? So I want to get elders. I call them elders because it's more respectful. OAP sounds diabolical. Pensioners, I think, sounds awful. They're our elders. They've got all the information that they've gathered over the whole years of their life. And if we don't use it, it's gone. So I want those elders down the allotment, teaching the kids. Obviously, I know there's checks and everything else. Right, ignore all that part. I'll deal with that. But the actual part of it is that the elders come down and teach the children how to grow, teach them all the information. You know, it will bring the kids out. It will uplift. There's so many kids out of school, anxiety, depression, because of what they've been through. And you know, the only way we can change this is to literally pull everything out, get all the root problems out and start from scratch, which is learning the basics, you know, getting back to doing what we're supposed to do, hard work, graft, grow, be with each other, talk to each other, be a community, you know, incorporate everyone into that, build your community better. I want to sort out the landfill problems because of obviously all the food wastage is diabolical, but that in turn will help our community as Harlow. You know, our landfill will go down. If I manage to accomplish this and get different tables set up all around to get as much food wastage out for free, that will make a massive impact, not just on people's pockets. It makes you feel uplifted. We've got the highest amount of male suicides. I think it's between us and Basildon, or we're level in the whole country. And that's diabolical. But I can see why. I can see why. I can see the money issues. I can see the fact that nobody's talking to each other and being a community. I can see the fact that you're locked down and locked in because of COVID and all the issues and anxiety people have got now. Some people can't even stand in a queue because the pressure becomes too much of being around people, and you think all the time, I'm going to be infected. So, you know, it's limited people, and I want to bring that back. I want to bring it where we're all starting to build up together and helping each other. I want adults without learning difficulties joining in. I want children with no problems at all. I want children that have got problems. I want every single bit incorporated as a community like we're supposed to. And once we do, it starts working. And then someone will be down there, oh, I need my flooring done. Oh, I know so-and-so, he can do it. Oh, brilliant, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I need, oh, that works. Oh, here's a builder over there. Before you know it, everyone's working together. And you've got food covered, you've got your community covered, you've got your children covered. They are our future adults. We can't keep neglecting our kids. If we keep going like this, our future doesn't look good. You know, it's okay if you can go to a top school, but the majority of the country can't. It's us. We are the root of the whole building of our government. We've got the top of our government, but mate, without the bottom, you're not at the top anymore. So if you don't start putting the effort into the bottom, your whole top will crumble. Sort the basics out. Once you've got the basics, then the whole community can grow. But without the basics sorted, the top's going to crumble.
And it's left to communities to try and build those communities without any resources, isn't it? People like you, you trying to build it up. So how did you start your CIC?
Well, I didn't have a clue over any of this, and so I managed to get an accountant, a really good accountant, and spoke through it all with him. First of all, what I did is I put it in a limited company, and that's because I haven't got the contract set up yet to get the actual allotments. I'm on a 2-year pilot scheme. I am not going to pile loads of money into that on a 2-year pilot scheme. I want that extended. So once all those things are in place, I'm very cautious, and I will try my hardest to make sure everywhere is covered so that I don't fall flat on my face. Once I have got my business bank account set up, which I can't do yet until my driving license is back, which should be any day now, I can then use my driving license to also set my CIC up. Once that is done, everything's done and I'm ready to go.
How much help have you had from like the community and organisations and businesses after your TikTok went viral and you had more volunteers come down? Because I believe that even the police came in and did some voluntary work, didn't they?
No, the police haven't done voluntary work yet. Are you listening, that Essex police?
Oh, it was reported that they had.
No, they haven't. They haven't put one single minute in.
Oh.
No, they came down and they spoke to me and they said they would, but I haven't heard anything as of yet. But this is what I mean. I single-handedly have worked my butt off, covering all of the aspects. I do get volunteers, my community volunteers. Without them, we're not a community, you know. We work hard together. But the whole root of it, I've had to deal with basically on my own, because I haven't got any, you know, you need advice. You need, if I go to my community, they don't necessarily know that sort of stuff. But for me to be able to broaden that and try and speak to people, it's hard. You know, it's hard to speak to people that are on a higher level than me, because I don't know how it works or what they do. You know, I live in my sector, which is what we do, and it's a different ball game. You know, I'm not at work, so I don't have to deal with my phone and laptop and everything else. And it's having the contacts of help and trying to get people in it. So yeah, pretty much, like, hand on heart, minus my flipping fabulous community when they come down to help me, I've done it on my own, and it's been hard, but my God, have I loved every blinking second.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just been, you can hear how rewarding it is. What would be your advice for anybody who sort of wanted to do what you're doing in their community?
I would say go for it and give it your all. You're going to fall flat on your face, I don't know how many times. Do not let it stop you. You think of your aim and you go for your aim. If you know your aim is right, correct, fair, then go for it. If there's, I could earn a bit by doing this on the side, no, sorry, I won't support you, because it's not about that. If you have set for a charity to become a charity, then you flip and go for it, and you don't stop till you get there. I can advise that if you're new like me to go for a CIC rather than a normal charity, because then you need to set up trustees and there's endless paperwork. So if you're like me, go for a CIC. Simple, straightforward, get yourself a good accountant and as much advice as you can. If you ever want to message me, if you ever want to ring me, anything, you're more than welcome. You know, I'll take your call, I'll answer your messages, emails, whatever, if you need advice to set forward. But yeah, that's the best advice I can give you. Don't trust anyone. Watch your friends. Make sure you keep your important friends close to you, and just analyze everything. Don't rush. Sit back, take a deep breath, and take your time.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much. A positive note to end on there. Thank you so much. So where can people find you?
They can find, mostly I work off my Facebook. It's a group, not a page. I have got a page, but I don't really use it. It's a bit head throbbing. It's too much for me. I use my Facebook group and it's called A Meal on Me with Love. And I have also got TikTok, which is Carly Burd 43, and I'm on LinkedIn as well. That's it. That's my little 3 areas that I cover, but I run everything off my group. I'm constantly updating. I'm telling you, I'm showing you the food I'm giving out. I'm showing you the food growing. I'll give you videos all the way along of what the money's going to. I'll also ask for people to join in, you know, give me your advice. I love advice and I do really take it on board. Some I disregard and I think, well, no, I don't really agree with that. But others I go, you do though, don't you? Other times you go,
you're the boss. You're the boss.
What a fabulous idea. So I do take the ideas on, even if I write them down and maybe use them later. But I'm open to messages, phone calls, and I'm an open book. So you're more than welcome to contact me any way you can.
Well, that's brilliant. Thank you so much for coming to talk to us on East London Radio. And
no, thank you for having me so much.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you, Carly. Well, I hope you found that useful and interesting, and thank everyone for listening. And if you have a topic you'd like me to discuss with anyone on the show, you can email me on helen@eastlondonradio.org.uk, and you can find me on my website, thecomplainingcow.co.uk. And for information on consumer issues, including rights, money saving matters, and all sorts of consumer stuff, you can find me on the website, and you can find more episodes of The Complaining Cow Show on East London Radio on there as well. And you can find me on Twitter @ComplainingCow and @TheComplainingCow on Instagram and Facebook. And you can get 15% off the books, How to Complain, the Essential Consumer Guide to Getting Refunds, Redress and Results, and 101 Habits of an Effective Complainer with the code ELRCOW. Many thanks. See you next time. Bye.